Oh man.
Oh shit. Microphones.
Mic check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rick Simon Show, the podcast that pinches off loafs faster than Derek Fisher at a 3-point line with a fucking countdown clock.
Damn. That's pretty fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bryce Colton is back and joining me. Give it up for Bryce. Yeah. Woo! What up, buddy? How you been?
Pretty good.
How was your week?
My week was good. My week was long. I worked a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything exciting?
Nothing really too exciting. I guess pretty exciting this year. I'm traveling quite a bit. I've been planning my trips with my family.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we started. You said you were going to. Where are you going?
So for my family this month, I'm going to visit my sister in Maryland.
Okay.
Like just outside of DC. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm going there for a couple days. We're actually taking a train as soon as I land to New York. We're just gonna do like a all-nighter.
And when you say you're taking a train, are you taking like one of those? Is it like one? So it's just a regular. It's not like a fancy boxcar kind of dinner thing.
No, it's just like a 3-hour train ride. Get there as soon as possible.
Gotcha.
Type thing. Yeah. So I'm doing that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I love my sister. She is like a fanatic for planning and organizing everything. So we planned it all out. Gonna go to New York. Gonna hang out with her for a few days at the end of this month. And then in April, I'm super excited going back to Colorado to visit my mom for her birthday. See my sister who lives there as well. And then my sister from Maryland is actually coming in too. So we're all gonna have like a little reunion of sorts, a little barbecue.
Family reunion.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't remember. Like I went to one when I was younger. Do families even do family reunions anymore?
Oh yeah, like my dad's side of the family is super big. I don't even know how many people.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like 100 with all of the cousins and stuff.
But they still do like giant fat family gatherings where they like rent out a venue and all that.
Yeah, they're terrible. Yeah.
They're terrible.
It's just...
How dare you subject me to family activity? I don't fucking know you.
That's basically how it is, too. It's like, oh, here's your cousin Irma from way out there in Tuscaloosa. It's like, cool. I didn't need to meet them ever. Like, I don't know them. They don't know me.
What's a Tuscaloosa?
I don't even know. I made that up.
So now let's get to the bottom of making up words.
Tuscaloosa is a place in Florida, I think, or like
Is
Oklahoma, maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
it's a funny city. I just pulled out of my ass for sure, but it's a place.
Is it an actual city though?
Yeah, it's Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa. Oh, Alabama. Interesting.
In Alabama.
Oh, my family is not from Alabama. I just want to put that out there for the record.
I don't know. You're pulling shit out of your ass like you're from Alabama. Tuscaloosa is a city in western Alabama.
Oh, that's right.
Denny
University
Stadium.
of Alabama. I knew I saw that. Probably got that from playing NCAA football too much.
Crimson Tide football team.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that it's the Alabama periods? Is that what the fucking teams are? The Alabama periods football team?
Yeah. They have a whole lake there for it.
You know what's a real fucking place that doesn't seem like it's a real place? Fucking Kalamazoo, Michigan.
What?
Yeah, if you didn't know, Kalamazoo is a real place. It's in Michigan. I filmed a movie there. What was it? It would have been like close to 6 years ago. Funny enough, so the DP that was on that movie was Helena Hutchins, which is the DP that got shot by Alec Baldwin and killed. I don't know why that's funny. But anyway.
Funny enough, that person's dead now. That's basically what you just said.
But no. So, but I worked on the movie with her. But
Strange connection.
all tragedy aside, she's a sweet lady. But filming there is nothing in that town. Like, it is in the shadow of Detroit for sure, and it's still like an hour and some change.
Oh, hour?
It's like an hour, if not 2 hours away from like. No, it's like from Grand Rapids. It's like an hour or two from Grand Rapids. It's like 8 from Detroit. But yeah, that fucking place is wild. It's just there's nothing to do there, and then there's one bar.
That's a lot of Midwest towns, though. Honestly.
But I'm talking about like for a place that like has like a lot of
well known.
I mean,
I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of Kalamazoo?
No.
I mean, I've heard the word Kalamazoo quite a bit.
Well, it's just like Tuscaloosa. Well, Tuscaloosa is pretty popular.
I've never heard Tuscaloosa.
Alabama is like the most popular college football team, though.
The Crimson Periods?
Yeah.
The period.
Yeah. They bleed on everybody. No, they're definitely the one of the most well-known college football teams for sure, though. Because it's always Auburn and Alabama. That's the rivalry, the big rivalry. Tuscaloosa. Yeah, I played too much NCAA football when I was younger.
What, the video game?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, you're a real small guy. I don't see you having
When I was 6, I was in the
when you were 6,
Division
you just
1.
shredded, just ripped, taking out linebackers, almost went pro, and then period.
I thought so.
Your puberty happened. And then, just all muscle mass gone.
That's usually when they draft them for Alabama. When they get their period.
Fuck, what were we talking about? Kalamazoo.
I've never heard of it.
So there's a bar there, and it was the most genius like philosophy that I've ever seen in my life. So it's called Beer Exchange, and it's like and it's themed like the stock market. So along the walls are these red words like on the thing, and it's just scanning by. But if you look at them, it tells you what the beer is and how much it costs. So if it's green, it means that that it's a popular beer, everybody's drinking it, and the price is going up.
I think you told me about this one time. Like, you can buy a really shitty beer.
So that's the thing. So that's the way that they work it. They work it like a stock market, right? So everything is kind of flowing, and the beer is like, say, $5.99 for Budweiser, right? Because everybody's been drinking Budweiser or whatever, so it's $5.99. So then after 5 minutes, while everybody's been drinking Budweiser, so now we're gonna up it to $6.99. Really cool. So it keeps going up.
Do they have like caps and?
No, there's no caps. It just if the beer is popular, it keeps going up. But then if nobody's buying it, and because everybody's buying the cheaper beer, well, now that price starts coming down, and then the other beer price will start going up. Now, every now and then, just like the stock market, and you don't know when it is. Even the people in the restaurant don't know when it is. It could happen once in a week. It could happen 4 times in a day. You don't know. It's on a random timer.
Does that make it more chaotic than most bars?
Oh, it makes it chaotic during the rush, but that's what the theme of the bar is, right? It's because like people will kind of hang out and they'll keep drinking and hang out by the bar because you have one of 2 options. Either one, you can wait for it to crash, but then it's going to be packed, or you can obviously keep drinking, kind of stand your distance, whatever, but you don't know when it's going to happen. And so when it crashes, all the beer is 99 cents.
All of them?
It all starts at 99 cents, and then it starts going up again. So, but think about it, right? At 99 cents, that bar is going to be packed. So if you're not right up there in front getting your 99-cent beer, well, after 3 people or 3 orders, it's probably going to jump back up again, and it'll shoot up to $3.99 for a glass. Then it'll go up to.
If they have like intense algorithms for the pricing, like how much does it increase every time they sell one? I
want to say it's like.
Is it like the stock market where it's like proportional?
It's like 10%. So I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember seeing it, and it would jump in increments of about like 30 to 50 cents, depending on how popular it is. But I also went, when I was going out, it was like the weekdays, so it wasn't nearly as crazy. So it was jumping about 30, 45, 50 cents. But I'm sure on the weekends when that place probably gets packed, I'm sure those things jump up $1.50 at a time.
Oh, yeah.
especially when it's like super packed.
I'm not a big fan of beer, but I feel like I would go just to watch the chaos.
I mean,
like, see the numbers fluctuate, or be the smart stockbroker and like buy cheap and then like sell them to other people in the bar for. So buy a bunch of beer, raise the price, and be like, "Oh, I'll sell you at a discounted rate."
Just start stockpiling beers on your coffee table or whatever, and then as soon as it crashes, be like, "I got them here for $1, so they're selling them to you for 99 cents. I'll make a profit of a penny."
No, you buy them at 99 cents when there's no one there, and then a bunch of people start buying them, and it gets to like $2 maybe, and then you sell them for like $1.50, and then you break the margin.
Yeah, but that's assuming that you can even hope to get into the bar when nobody's there for you to stockpile them. Plus, I'm pretty sure the establishment
I'm
sure they're gonna watch you and be like, "That dude's stockpiling our beer." I'm sure you get blacklisted from that bar so fast.
I mean, that is pretty suspicious. Hey, bro, you want a beer for 50 cents less?
Yeah, you start selling it to the owner of the bar. You're like, "I'll sell you back your beer."
I would go so ham though. I would do so much research into it. I would write down all the beers. I'd be like, "Oh, what's selling poorly? PBR. All right, 99 cents."
It sounds like you're going so hard on somebody else's business right now. Instead
I'll set up shop next to it. I'll be like,
keep going into their bar.
Stock crashers, the beer crashers, yeah.
Like the Wolf of Beer Street.
Yeah, the Wolf of Beer Street. Cops show up. Yeah, we were raided by the FBI 3 times. Like, have a sign, raided by the FBI. How many times this week?
Put your own mug shots up there and start decorating your place.
Yeah, probably make a profit of like $50 a year. That's good.
I'm surviving on 50 a year. Holy shit! You make $50,000. No, $50.
$50. Honestly, considering
how many beers
like
did you have to sell? 1,000.
That's rough. Wow. But yeah, that's interesting. I feel like very, very creative idea.
Yeah. Did you? So you've mentioned in the past on the show that you enjoy things like The Daily Show and like a lot of those like late night talk shows and stuff. Earlier in the week, I stormed your castle and was like, "Hey man, so your job is to find some news for the week and update me." So did you happen to find some news to update me?
I found a little bit of news, or like rather stories that I found interesting. I don't really have sources or like, HTML works cited.
So you're a bogus journalist.
Oh yeah, 100%. Fake news all day. But I did find one story that I thought was interesting. I don't know if we could find the article, but there was a priest who died.
Okay. All right, we're starting strong. We're going for priest.
I think, speaking of Michigan, I think it was in Michigan, or like Minnesota. There was a priest who died. This story was so funny.
Okay, you got to give me some keywords. What are we looking for here?
I think it was a priest in Michigan or Minnesota. He died, came back to life.
Priest in Michigan dies and comes back to life.
And he said, maybe it wasn't. Yeah, that one, the top one. He says
www.1.cbn. I don't know how.
Well, there's others. Rolling Stone.
Oh, Yahoo. BET. Okay, well, BET reported it. Then obviously it's true.
He said he died, went to hell, and his punishment in hell was listening to Umbrella by Rihanna.
Priest says he briefly died and went to hell, saw demons singing Rihanna. Sounds normal.
Okay, so I have a couple things about this article that like really pop out to me. One, what is a priest doing in hell? Like, isn't that like?
Chances are he touched some little boys. I'm not saying that he did it. I'm just saying there's a reoccurring trend of the community. It seems to be their favorite thing.
Yeah.
I'd recommend maybe learning disc golf.
So he wasn't a priest, I guess. He's a pastor, is what that picture says.
All right, so
clergyman.
All right, so the beginning of the article says, a priest claims that he died and briefly visited hell, where he saw demons singing the music of Rihanna. The outlandish and entirely believable claim comes from Michigan.
Who's writing this article?
The outlandish and entirely believable claim comes from Michigan clergyman Gerald Johnson, who says he briefly died after a 2016 heart attack and went to hell before he came back to life. When did Umbrella come out?
Like 2012, 2014. But wait, why is this story coming out now? Now that I think about it, like, did this come out?
It came out in 2007, so okay.
Did the story come out in 2016? First of all, how dare you do Rihanna like that? Like, that song is fantastic. But also...
This doesn't say...
Sounds
January
normal.
26th of 2023.
See? And he had the heart attack in 2016. Like, how long has he been trying to get this message out? He's like, trust me, it was Umbrella.
Well, you know what it is? I think he's trying to get a little bit of that fame now that Rihanna's doing halftime, isn't she? Rihanna or Beyonce is doing halftime for Super Bowl. Let's see. We're three tabs deep
into our rabbit hole.
What were we looking at? Super Bowl 2023 halftime.
You know what's funny is I should know that, considering I don't give a shit about the football game this year. I'm more here for the commercials and. Oh yeah, so that's all he's doing.
Well, how many people is it? Because last year, who was it? I don't know. I remember the Was that last year? Yeah, last year was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg,
Eminem, Snoop Dogg. It was a combination of like a multitude of things. Because it was.
And they were trying to get Snoop Dogg and Dre.
Well, so they got Dre because he's one of the biggest producers in the world. And then from Dre, obviously, he invited some of his closest colleagues that he's still friends with. Like, I know that him and Snoop have patched things up. Obviously, Eminem discovered 50 Cent, so they were there. Mary J. Blige, I'm not exactly sure the tie, but I know that maybe Dre produced some songs of her.
Wasn't 50 Cent upside down?
He was. Yeah, he was. Let's see. 50 Cent.
What a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got 4 tabs to go back.
In the club.
Yeah, here. Let me I'll mute this so we don't get the copyright strike. But probably I don't know. Ads, awesome.
I don't know. Depends on like how broken their back is, I guess.
Right.
Some of them have
There's a guy who like just died or not died, but had like a stroke on the field or something recently. Yeah, there he is. He's upside down.
He had like a heart, like his heart stopped. Dante. No.
So he's now 2 Cent. Upside down, he was 2 Cent. You see that?
No. Oh, because of his chain.
Yeah, he's got 2 Cent, and then he goes upside down, or then right side up, and he becomes 50 Cent. So. The moral of the story here is if you have any investments, put it into him because he's blowing up.
Turn your money upside down.
Turn your money upside down. My $1 bill is now 100.
That was a pretty cool halftime show, I will say. I liked it a lot.
Everybody was super upset about, I guess, like the fact that it was like in these boxes and you couldn't see it like on the backside or whatever.
That is pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
But here's the thing. It's up to the artist on whether or not like what they want to do, you know.
It's also if you are in the crowd, like even if I'm at like a football game or something, if I'm really high up too, I'm just gonna be looking at the jumbotron.
For sure.
I don't really.
After a certain
like this view is a pretty good example because of how small they are.
After a certain point, it's like you can't even see the person anymore. You're there to just listen and watch the jumbotron. But yeah. So 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, they were all last year.
I thought she was.
And then this year is Rihanna.
Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Shakira, and what? Oh, I thought that was.
Wait, where are you reading that?
Prince, the bottom right, it's just like past people who have done it.
Oh, I
because
see.
Obviously, Prince will not be doing it this year.
I mean, he could. We live in a world where we could just string him up.
That would be, that'd be something else.
What's a?
I mean,
have him come
like
out.
a dedication.
Well, we just have him come out to his song. Dearly beloved, we've gathered here today. The beginning of his song.
What is wrong with you?
Oh man. So yeah,
so
Rihanna.
it's just Rihanna then.
I think it's just. I'm sure she'll have
just
friends.
Rihanna is.
But it's her. Yeah, it's her thing.
Yeah, Rihanna's enough, but.
And then we got
seems
Umbrella.
Like they usually go all out.
Let's look at the lyrics to see if we can find where
umbrella, Ella,
she referenced
Ella.
the devil.
He probably got just stuck on the Ella, 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 Ella. Hey. Well, he also turned it into a whole lesson. He was like, it made me realize that we need to find God in music, which, sure. But why can you not do that with Umbrella?
But also, why do we need to find God in music when it's proven that the devil makes the music, and therefore that's why we all love it?
Because it's a
sex, drugs, rock and roll, hell, Satan, man.
The temptation. It's a pleasurable activity.
Let's see what else he had to say here. Let's see. He's quoted as saying, "My spirit left my physical body," Johnson explained in a new viral TikTok video. Oh, great.
Yeah, no,
good.
I saw the TikTok picture and I was like, oh, this guy just trying to
Let me take
clout.
a second and discuss how the fuck we think TikTok is a viable source of news. We're taking 13-year-olds' opinions on what their fucking employers are doing, and they're like,
13-year-olds are employed these days?
well, you can be in Midwest and stuff like that. You can get work permits and whatnot.
Like red flag.
But it's it's crazy that these people are on TikTok. No, I'm not saying there aren't some that are credible by any means.
Yeah.
But these people that are just constantly on TikTok and recording things, and then they're
that's the echo chamber we live in today, though. People are gonna find their news wherever they see fit.
It's not a credible source. I'm tired of seeing on TikTok.
It's also, the thing is, there's also so many credible sources that have moved to it because it's become so popular. How many big names I don't know, CNN? They have a TikTok.
Well, okay, but again, then going through TikTok, for CNN and whatnot, sure. But those are also credited journalists.
Not the 1,000-follower 14-year-old.
Yeah, some kid who decided to take a photo of their Chipotle bowl and was like, I found an uncooked piece of beef. And it's it's called raw, eat it.
Pooping in the meat. He's like, I can tell by the taste.
And there's something wrong with me. Okay.
Sorry. It just reminds me of one time they did find a guy who was pooping in the Taco Bell meat.
Fuck out of here. No, there was not. No, there was not.
I think he was living.
We got down to our final tab.
He was living
Man
in the Taco Bell.
In Taco Bell
Look,
meat.
it pops up right there.
Rumor.
Oh, god damn it. Pseudo alleges feces found Taco Bell item. Up rocks. We're getting to credible shit.
I don't know. My English
Stoner
teacher would
poops and
always
beans
tell me,
at Taco Bell.
he would be like, are you kids still eating fast food? There was a man who once pooped in Taco Bell meat. And I was like, yeah, that's the reason why we never go to Taco Bell. It's not the
All right, let's read the rumor.
fact that it's also just terrible for you before the poop. The rumor.
All right, the rumor.
This is 2 years ago, but I'm talking about a story that I heard about at least 6 or 7 years ago. So, if it's still going on, that's rough.
All right, so it says, rumor, Taco Bell employee in Upper Peninsula of Michigan. What the fuck is with Michigan? Is that the theme of today's episode for some reason?
It's the Midwest, yeah. Today's episode brought to you by Michigan. Kalamazoo beer and poop and Taco Bell meat.
Today's episode brought to you by Michigan. Michigan, don't fucking go here. Rumor, Taco Bell employee in Upper Peninsula of Michigan pooping in beans, fired and arrested. Kim.
Question mark. I love the question marks because it's like this is completely unverified.
So it looks like
Do
it
not
was
sue
a
us.
Facebook post. And this is the caption of the girl who had posted it on, I guess, her encounter.
Is this woman a
It's
Karen?
super small, but let me see if I can read it. It says, "So I just wanted to let people know that Taco Bell in Houghton has had an employee that has been shitting the beans." Is that a fucking word? Shitting? Hold on.
No, it's not.
Shitting.
This is
Well,
the
I'm a
most
dumb ape. I
credible
need to
source
fucking-
I've ever read.
Oh, free porn about. Okay, hold on.
God.
Hold on. What is happening? This show is falling the
You need
fuck apart.
you need safe search on this.
I need Jesus is what I need on this.
Well,
Give me that priest
Don't
back.
listen to Umbrella.
Give me that priest back. Fuck. Jesus, not even gonna fucking click on any of those links. Not one. It's a word. It's apparently a word. It showed up, just not in anything that.
I just love that shitty.
Not in Webster's.
And porn is in your
I was hoping to find the word in Webster's, not
Webster's.
God damn it, not camsters. Fuck.
Oh God.
Let's fast track this. Back to the post. So she said, "I just wanted to let people know that the Taco Bell in Houghton has had an employee that has been shitting in the beans." God damn it. Hold on. Maybe this post got taken out of context. Shitting in the beans. Now, what are the beans exactly? Like, did some dude in Michigan just want to be like pooed on? Because I didn't think shitting was what it was until it...
All right. If you
I
have,
think that we should just read the post and move on.
let's that sounds like a great idea.
Oh God.
all
Please
right.
don't let me hear Umbrella.
If you've eaten there in the last few days and have been sick, this could be why.
Oh God.
God damn it. I don't
She's
even-
like, I've been there the past 3 days this week, and I've gotten sick every time, so they must be shitting in the beans.
My son told me about it,
Oh.
and it came from an
What?
employee that works there.
I need a better source. Go back to the searches.
They have
This
shut
woman-
down the cleaning, and I guess the employee's been arrested. This is disgusting, and I don't understand why someone would do something like this. So yeah, it was a Facebook post from a local.
Huh. But I love how, like, this is the textbook definition of a terrible source. Because she's like, I heard about it from my...
I'm gonna keep scrolling down below. Steelers running back found dead, probably from shitty beans.
Oh, no.
God, fuck, just don't go to Michigan, man. We talked about the beer exchange and like the cool bar, but that's it. That's it. That's all that's there.
That cool bar.
A cool fucking bar
In Kalamazoo?
in Kalamazoo.
Well, silver lining. Brown lining.
Back to our priest who's raining down on Rihanna's fucking
Umbrella.
parade. He has said, my spirit left my physical body. Johnson explained in a viral new TikTok video, "I thought I was going upward because I thought that I had done so much good in this lifetime and helped so many people and made so many decisions that were godly decisions." Well, obviously not.
Road to hell is paved with good intentions.
But as opposed to me going up, I went down. I went literally into the center of the earth. That's where hell is. It's also where your body goes when you die.
The center of the earth?
Into the fucking ground. You don't know where the center is as soon as they
Might
start
be-
throwing the
you
dirt on
might
top
be-
of you.
It might be burnt and put up.
That's racist. Just because he's black does not mean he was burnt, Bryce. God damn it.
What?
Now I got to scrap this whole episode.
At the stake? I meant cremation.
Sure. Johnson went on
Jesus.
to explain. Oh, Jesus isn't any part of this. Jesus has no part of this, no
I
part
need
of
to take
that.
a bath
none
in
of it.
holy water after this.
I'll spit on you. Johnson went on
No,
to explain
thanks.
that he wouldn't wish the fate on my worst enemy and revealed that some of the indescribable things he claims to have witnessed, well, they're indescribable.
They included a man walking on all fours like a dog and getting burned from head to toe. His eyes were bulging, and worse than that, he was wearing chains on his neck. He was like a hellhound. There was a demon holding the chains. Yeah, I'm gonna say
Yeah.
he was on DMT.
This dude absolutely was listening to oh, there's the scores. Was listening to way too much Joe Rogan and decided to go on that DMT trip. For sure.
Wow.
What a fucking rabbit hole that
What a
turned out to
ride.
be.
What a ride. I thought, like, Florida was bad. Damn.
Yeah.
That is pretty funny. Florida.
You got any news from Florida? What else you
No.
got?
No? I mean, there's always news from Florida, but that was
Dude, fucking that lawless place. I've worked there like a couple of times.
a lawless place.
It's so lawless. Fuck that place.
It's pretty interesting when you think about it, because a lot of times the like more lawless countries, it's interesting to think about like lawless as places have gone, because like you have like the super old states like in the northwest or northeast, sorry, and they're super like strict because they've been around for so long. They have so many laws. And then you move out west, like Vegas, like California's like somewhat Wild West. But
You
then
feel
you
like
have,
California is the Wild West?
I mean, not like I don't know how to explain it. It's more some like the laws have taken a longer time to be put in place. You know, there's so many old laws in the Northeast and stuff. But what I'm trying to say too is like everybody started on the East Coast, obviously. All the settlers. So all the laws that have been made for our civilization started there, and then they took a while to be created out here because it took a while for people to move out here and industrialize everything and whatever.
I think
wasn't
California one of the first ones? That's like because we had the gold, didn't we?
Well, yeah, in like the 1800s, but the states in the Northeast have been around since like 1600. Like the colonies came around in 1670 or whatever.
I don't know why I'm trying to talk history. I'm so bad at it.
Just listen.
Yeah.
No, so that's what I'm saying is Florida is this weird thing where nobody wants laws, but it's still one of the older colonies. Because it is, like you said, a lawless place, but it's like the unwanted state.
Dude, it's the dick of
That
the
does
U.S.
its own
for
thing.
sure. It needs to be kicked off and given away as a peace treaty. Fuck Florida. Fuck it.
I remember reading an article one time. There was a man who robbed it was a fast food. I want to say it was like Wendy's, but he robbed a Wendy's with an alligator.
And it
I think I've seen that.
And it
article.
posed so many more questions than it did answers, because it's
Yeah.
did he rob Wendy's with an alligator,
Yeah.
or did he rob Wendy's with an alligator?
Or, and even further question, why Wendy's?
Yeah, if you're gonna rob a place
with an alligator?
yeah,
if,
go to a
an
bank.
Alligator is a pretty formidable weapon. If
An
you're using
alligator's
it,
a formidable weapon.
it's got a pretty scary
We have a
bite.
pitch to make. This one goes out to the U.S. government.
Shark
We'd like
Tank?
to militarize your alligators.
Oh, we're going that route.
I don't know. You said it's a
There's more money
formidable
there.
weapon.
I don't know. Who knows? Shark Tank, Mark Cuban might be in the weapons but arms business.
Start dropping alligators with bombs attached to them out of planes. I'd run
Bombs.
for sure. Forget
What's the point
forget
of the alligator?
forget
You have
Dr.
the bomb.
Evil with the shark and laser beams. Let's get alligators with bombs on them.
I guess that would be as obsolete as sharks with laser
As
beams.
obsolete.
Yeah, because if you have a bomb, why do you need the alligator?
Well, do you want to go deliver the bomb?
No.
Okay, so then strap it to an alligator and let it
Nobody
start
needs
walking.
to deliver the bomb. Have you ever heard of like a B-2 bomber? They deliver bombs.
Yeah, but an alligator with a bomb attached to it is way more terrifying. Because now you've got the face of fear attached to it as well.
Because right before I'm getting bombed, the first thing I'm saying is like, oh shit, it's an alligator. Like, we're really fucked now.
What? I mean, I would. I absolutely
I'm not going to
would.
see the alligator.
Okay, then fine. Attach them to penguins.
I'm not going to see the penguin.
What do you mean you're not going to see the penguin? You put the bomb on the penguin and you go...
Oh, okay,
then,
so it's walking on the ground. I thought you just said like...
Why would we drop alligators out of the sky?
That's what I was saying.
Actually, to be honest, it would scare the fuck out of me. Because I wouldn't even be worried about the bomb. I'd be like, what the fuck? And I mean... I'd let it hit the ground. I'd be like, there's an alligator falling out of the sky. I'm going to watch.
I would definitely catch it, for sure. Dude, what?
I got it.
Don't worry. I got it.
Oh, man.
What?
What the fuck just happened?
Nothing makes sense. Everything is fake. Alligators and bombs are coming to a store near you.
Absolutely. Do you have any other amazing news?
I don't know.
What else did you find?
Probably not. I don't know if anything will even make any sense this way.
I don't think anything made sense right now anyway.
No. That was the main one. I thought it would be more substance, but your normal priest and some terrible rabbit holing.
Just another priest going to hell for some shit that he won't confess to.
Maybe it's like an omen. The fact that like we looked him up and then we just went on a rabbit hole of terrible stuff, because maybe that's why. Maybe he did go to hell, like, and we shouldn't have talked about it. We just brought the bad energy.
Nah, man, because I need to know what this place is like. I'm for sure going. Absolutely. There's no way that I'm not.
All right. I'll see you there.
I have been watching that new show, The Last of Us. Have you started any of it?
I haven't. I really want to watch it because I didn't. I played the first game, and then I watched a playthrough of the second game. And I watched a whole interview of the game creator and how he was talking about he declined an offer for a movie because he said that not only would that not be like enough, it wouldn't tell enough of the story because the movie is too short, but also he didn't like the way that they were pitching the idea to him because they were just trying to make money.
Right.
Whereas this offer that he got from HBO, they were bringing him on. And like, oh, you're definitely going to be part of the storytelling process. So I think that's awesome. Like it's got to be a good show.
I mean, that's where I think most what am I trying to say? Like, I think that's where most shows that are adapting from source material, like, I think they need to do that. I think,
Definitely.
if I'm not mistaken, I think Ryan Reynolds, why the Deadpool series was so popular is because he also consulted Rob Liefeld, who's the creator of Deadpool. So it's like,
makes sense.
You know, I think that it's important, especially in today's world where you can monetize that kind of stuff and make millions. It's dude, you should absolutely be giving it back to the creators.
Yeah, Marvel was one of the first kind of entities, especially in like the original movies, like Iron Man and Thor. In those movies, they like heavily pulled from the comics and stuff, where that's what made it so popular. All the fans were happy to see, like, oh, like I read that in the comic book. It's cool that they added it. It's not in this exact same context, but it's like that quote or whatever. So I think they definitely mainstreamed it to where a lot of people see that it works, which is cool. And The Last of Us is also one of, if not the best, like, story in any video game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually so against things that are like
hyped like this, mainly because it's like you get the spoilers because you're in the know, and then people, are ruining it for you and all that kind of stuff. So usually I'll let these kind of shows finish and die out, and then I'll go back and rewatch it when nobody's talking about it. But I've fallen down the rabbit hole of like podcasts and like interviews and all that stuff. And Nick Offerman has been making his rounds on like Jimmy Kimmel and all that stuff. And everybody has been saying how incredible the third episode is. And the third episode has a little bit of its own standalone kind of story to it that is super interesting. And it ties in, it does, but you could watch it literally right now and get the whole story on its own, and then you can go back and rewatch it and then be like, oh, it'll fill in the gap. Kind of like Marvel style, right? Where it's there's the characters will pop up and you'll know where it fits in the story, but it is completely its own thing. And dude, never in a million years did I think that Ron Swanson was gonna make me cry as hard as it did. It is a phenomenal episode for sure.
Ron Swanson is Nick Offerman is a great actor, so it makes sense. He really is. So yeah, I really want to watch the show, especially like you said, the whole not watching things that are part of the hype or whatever, because you don't want the spoilers and everything. I don't know if you've played the game, but that was part of why I didn't really want to watch it. I was like, well, what's the point if they're just gonna tell the same story? But that's what a lot of people have said that have watched it, are like, yeah, it's sort of the same story. There's a lot of parallels, but especially with the third episode, like that was something that they barely touched on in the game. It was their two relationship between those two. I haven't seen it, but I've heard like it's super in depth.
This is for what it's worth. I'm not a fan of The Walking Dead. Thought it was like whatever. Like I get it's a comic book adaptation, whatever, but like those aren't my kind of comic books, and so I couldn't get into The Walking Dead. I've seen the episodes and I've watched like the ones that everybody's like, this was so good, and the premiere of Negan and whatever. Like I watched all that. Still couldn't get into it. It's just not my cup of tea. Zombies, like zombie movies, 28 Days Later, all those things, like just never been my bag. The closest to zombies I really ever got was like Army of Darkness or Evil Dead. And even those aren't zombies, those are more like possession demons, whatever. But never been much into zombies. Definitely not like a drama guy. I prefer comedies for sure, and the only dramas that I really did get into were like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and whatnot. But I also have a thing where like I enjoy drug stories, so like Blow, Wolf of Wall Street, Wall those like Breaking Bad, like I said, those things. I don't know what it is. I'm fascinated with like drug kingpin world kind of stuff.
People are gonna hate me, but I don't know if I told you I've never seen Breaking Bad.
You've never seen it?
No, I've seen like parts of it. When it was first coming out, I think my dad was watching it or something, and I would catch a few episodes every time he was watching it. And I kind of got the storyline, but I've never seen it all the way through.
I would highly recommend it. It's great. The ending gets to a point where they're like, all right, we kind of need to write it away. But as years have gone on, I actually enjoy the ending because there's a rise and a fall. And everybody kind of looked at the final seasons as like the fall of the show. But I look at more as like the fall of the character.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Do you like Zombieland?
So I've tried to watch Zombieland because people are like it's a comedy, and I just
like too dry for you.
I don't know if it's too dry. There's just something about zombie lore that like just doesn't pique my interest. It's like things just trying to run and eat you, and you shoot it in the brain, and like that's the end of like I don't. It's the same. It's kind of the same way with video games where it's like I can't do like, even though I'm a Batman fan, I can't do the Arkham games because it's just the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
It's fly from city to city, fight, whatever,
mash
and then
buttons.
Fight like a group of 20 people, and you just kind of, zombie movies are the same thing. There's an apocalypse, we don't know what happened, but some of us are alive. Quick, get your guns. Have a barbed wire fence and shoot them in the head, and it's like
my favorite zombie movie is World War Z.
I have seen that. I did enjoy that, but that was a lot more I don't know how to say it. It was kind of like
it's more action packed, kind of, but it's more of a story of like humanity, I think. Whereas
I enjoyed
a lot
it. It was
of
like Jason Bourne meets zombies.
yeah,
in my opinion,
it was pretty cool in that regard. I like the whole like heroic storytelling, but I really liked it because it was more because all these shows like I'm not a really big fan of The Walking Dead. I watched like the first 3 or 4 seasons and I just kind of got bored of it. My friends love it, but I could never get over the whole like okay, so there's just like slow walking zombies.
yeah.
I
That's
get
another,
they overwhelm you in big hordes, but like that doesn't seem that scary
see, that's
to me.
another thing that gets me when it comes to zombies too, is it's like there's no consistency. And now maybe some people like that. I don't. I like to kind of know the basic fundamentals. Like I kind of do that with like it's kind of like Batman movies, right? Like everybody knows that he's an orphan from the streets because his parents were murdered in the alley and blah blah whatever. And it's like once you have that, like get the backstory out of the way so I can just enjoy what's going on. And every zombie movie, in my opinion, has roughly been the same. Where it's and I'm not saying they're all like that. I'm saying the ones that I've been introduced to that people are like, you would like this, you would love that, blah blah. It's all the same. Where it's the beginning is everything is fine, and then something happens, outbreak. Then there's a cut to sometime later, and now everybody's post-apocalyptic, and it's just like
part of the reason why Last of Us was so good, like such a good story, is because it did touch on not only like the outbreak but the world, and like it did jump ahead to like, oh, here's the world now. But it was cool because the art was done in such a way that you could see how like nature took over because there weren't as many humans,
right,
which was really cool art wise. It's like a very artistic game, which was very cool. Or yeah, game. Losing my train of thought. But so I think I liked World War Z because I feel like there was actual stakes involved. Whereas it's like, hey, like people are all actually gonna die. Or have you seen like I Am Legend? Because those are kind of like vampire
I have
zombies.
seen I Am Legend. I did enjoy that
good.
one. I haven't seen that in forever, mainly because
there were a couple
Will Smith kills a dog, and we know that he's now capable of doing
so
shit
sad.
like that. But
so sad. The
no, Will, don't do it. That's Chris Rock, not the dog.
Jesus Christ.
You see that he backed out of the Grammys last night? He was supposed to make an appearance, and
Will Smith?
Yeah, and he like decided not to show up, which good. He would have taken the spotlight off a lot of people by showing up.
I don't know.
Definitely ruined everybody else's fucking moment that year.
It's so interesting because I feel like the industry is such a spotlight filled world that I get people have to have their time to shine, and like Viola Davis got her EGOT. Right. So that was really cool. But at the same time, there's not much spotlight to share if there's so many people that need the spotlight.
No, but
I mean, what was him just being there gonna change though? Like, was he gonna be part of the hosts?
I don't know if he was gonna do anything like that, but it's a matter of like, there's still a lot of controversy surrounding him, and not only that, but he's also, unhinged. Like people know what he's now capable of, and I think that that's maybe something that they were trying to avoid.
I wouldn't say he's unhinged.
Or not that they were trying to avoid. I think he was trying to avoid because he's very much aware that like all eyes are on him.
Well, he's always been very smart PR wise.
Oh, has he?
One day. One day.
All it takes is one bad day, man.
That's true, and like that's the thing though, is he's obviously having a hard time. So it's not terrible. I don't know. I don't think that there's much I can talk to that situation because I don't know what he's going through. But anyway, back to The Last of Us. That's what I was gonna say is I think along that line of like adaptations for previously made storylines and stuff. I think more recently I've really liked the shows that are from comic books or have been from some sort of content.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's because most of it's already done. Like, the thing is everybody always wants to shit on comic book movies and on comic book like adaptations and stuff because they're like, oh, like it's not original movie making, blah blah blah. But it's like at the same time, it is. It's just cutting out a bunch of the steps of having to go in and storyboard and having to write some script. And like you can take the book and go, there's key moments that are talked about. Here are like certain frames and shots, and like here's costume references, and here's like you're just cutting out a bunch of the extra steps. And now not only that too, when it comes to these comic book adaptations, most of them aren't following the exact story. They'll follow like the premise or the core understanding of it.
Yeah.
But they won't like, what am I trying to get? Like they won't like rip it off entirely. And I think there's a fine line between that of being able to like the best example I can give is like Civil War, right? In the movie Civil War, it's more about powers having to register to be superheroes, whereas Captain America's on the side of, no, we do this because we're making the sacrifice for the better good. And in the second we say that we're not giving a sacrifice and we're taking orders, well, we lose right to choose on what's right and wrong. And so when they held on to that core value, they can change the rest of the book or the rest of the movie.
Yeah, well, it's also, that's definitely very valuable, is when you change the story to the point where even the people who have read all the comics don't really know what's going to happen. Because The Boys is a good example of that too, where I could read The Boys and know kind of what's going on, but I'm not going to know where the story is going. Like, I can read up on the lore and everything, but they're writing new content for it,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm living in my golden age of like superhero comic book adaptations and like animated series, like Invincible's supposed to be coming back.
I was gonna ask you too, how do you feel about the DCEU being completely revamped and gutted by James Gunn?
I mean, it's actually funny because I had that here on my list. Here, I'll cross that off of topics that I brought to the table.
Nice. 1 for 10.
Yeah. I'm thoroughly excited for it. It's still a confusing fuckwad of a mess.
It's broken because he was like, "Oh, we're gonna keep."
I'm not even worried about any of that.
Like the shows, we're gonna keep the Viola Davis's character from Suicide Squad, and she's gonna have her own show. But like everybody else is fired.
Well, so what it is
Stuff like
I
that.
think, and again, I trust James Gunn because he knows how to take characters that nobody gives a shit about and make you love them. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was a comic book series that just wasn't holding on very well, and like the version of the Guardians that he put in the movie isn't even the original team. Like that's just a different form of the team. And I don't know. I trust James Gunn when it comes to that. I know that he's releasing some movies that like I have no idea who the characters are. And I enjoy that. Like I don't need to know every character because then I get to go watch these movies that are in this universe and have a fresh perspective. I get to be one of the audience members that doesn't know about the lore of like the comic books and stuff. So I thoroughly look forward to it for sure. But it is, again, it's confusing. With Jason Momoa and everybody and the people who are staying, I think what he's going to do is he's basically going to tell pre-Flashpoint stories. And I feel like the end credits of those movies are probably going to be like, here's what happens when the world changed after Flashpoint. I'm pretty sure that's where those movies will come because they're already working on them. They're already contracted. They have to obligate the deals. They have an obligation to the deals and whatever. So they're going to finish those movies, but they'll figure out how to write them out as well. Because when the Flash goes and turns everything back,
Are they
my
still
opinion,
doing
I think
the Flash movie?
yeah. Which
Ben
is
Affleck's being in that one too, right? Like
I don't know if
what
Ben Affleck's in that one. I know that Michael Keaton was supposed to be in it.
the fuck?
Yeah. It's all an absolute mess, but again, I trust James Gunn and his ability to tell a story again with characters you don't care about. I think my biggest beef is just that Warner Brothers couldn't do the right thing. Like with all this shit that's going on with Ezra Miller and whatnot, the fact that they held on to him is insane to me.
What's going on with him?
Oh, dude, what's not going on with him? That dude kidnapped a minor and went across state lines or something. He had an assault on some people in Hawaii. He broke into somebody's house.
Wow.
I think in Hawaii. He has a compound farm that, like, dude, it's insane. Like the shit that's happening. And
yeah, that's a lot.
And they kept him. They like hung on to him for whatever reason.
He does kind of have some Jeffrey Dahmer vibes.
Oh, yeah. He's done something shady. Who knows what? But like, and that's because everything that's happened so far, like nothing's been officially prosecuted or like found guilty or whatever. I don't think yet. I could be wrong, but yeah, man, that dude is troubled and hanging on to something.
Well, it's interesting because I thought James Gunn went through some allegations earlier too, like a few years ago, and like Marvel kind of distanced themselves from him.
So the James Gunn thing was because he had tweets back in the day when he was first becoming a filmmaker. He had made some things. One of them was called PG porno. So it's basically like a porno, but filmed in a PG capacity where they, say fudge or whatever. I think it's done with like kids or whatever. I don't know. Anyway,
interesting.
I don't know exactly too much about it, but I think the joke is like he filmed with kids and he made kids say fudge and whatever. So he had that, and that created a little bit of backlash. And he was like, "It's not like it's ever been hidden. Like it's one of my films. It's one of my weird things." And then not only that, but then he also had some, I guess, some off-colored remarks regarding, I think maybe LGBTQ community or something like that. And then they fired back and canceled him. Well, they were jokes that maybe just didn't land, or they were jokes that were funny back in, the 90s when people used to say things like fag and retard and whatever. And it was fine, right? Because we didn't, we weren't purposely attacking gays and handicap. He just
indirectly.
Yeah, it was a product of its time. It was a joke of its time, and people went and dug it up and then tried to get him canceled. So it's just shit like that. But I don't know. So back to the DCU, he released a plan. Superman Legacy is first, I think. He said, there's now things will be branded as Elseworld, which is great. Like finally there's some clarity on what is part of the DCU and what's not. And
who is the new Superman?
I don't think they've released it yet. I think it's just announced that they're doing the movie, but I don't think they've said who's playing yet.
The thing is, like, as bad as the DCE was, when I saw Black Adam, it wasn't great, but I still did kind of get excited when they brought Superman in at the end.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, they brought in Superman at the end, and that's part of the problem that's going on at Warner Brothers. It's like, why would you bring him in?
They said they got completely rid of. Oh no, that was after, I guess, when they got rid of Henry Cavill.
Well, so DC brought back Henry Cavill for like a fucking second in Black Adam, and then they announced that he came back and they were going to do a Man of Steel 2 and whatever, and then James Gunn took over. And then immediately canned it. And James Gunn is...
Well, they also got rid of The Rock as Black Adam, too, which I thought was surprising.
I mean, it wasn't that great, though, in my opinion.
No, it wasn't great, but it's, like, the popular, like, the celebrity power that The Rock has surprised me that they would just drop him completely. I thought that they would at least try to maybe say, oh, like, that movie was an origin story, and then like completely reframe the James Gunn's.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty standalone, other than the reference to
Superman.
I mean, they had the Justice Society, but even then it was a hodgepodge group.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing was just an absolute wreck. Like the fact that DC thought they could get away with that is mind blowing to me. You know, they didn't trust Zack Snyder. Not that anybody should trust Zack Snyder. I don't think he's a great filmmaker at all. But
I also think that is one of the problems that DC has had with their movies in the past is they, especially with Superman, because in the comics he's so much more complex, but in all the movies,
is he though? Yeah, I fucking cannot stand Superman in the comics.
Well, like there's more ideals than in the movies, especially with Black Adam. This is what they really went for with Black Adam. They kind of like put all their money in it. Is, oh, this guy's gonna be able to beat everything. Like he's indestructible, like invincible. Like that's what they go for. It's like, oh, look at this cool dude, just be unstoppable. And I feel like they go for that way too much in like Superman movies and stuff like that. Man of Steel I thought was really good in that, sure, we've seen this origin story a lot of times, but
have you ever watched Superman kill a man?
Yeah. I don't know. The thing that there's two things, these are pretty hot takes, that I think I like about the DC EU as it was, is I like this whole idea, although they did put a lot of weight on Superman that I just pointed out, him being invincible, and like they needed him for Justice League or else the world was going to end. But I like the idea of having evil Superman, or what's his name? Zod. No, not Zod. Well, Zod is cool too, but literally the Superman after Lois Lane is killed and he's super angry and says, fuck it, I'll kill everyone anyway. I don't think he has a different name. I just think he has a different title or something. But regardless, I thought that...
Talk about Injustice? Like when Superman, like when Lois Lane dies and Superman goes and he governs everything. Yeah, that's its own universe, the Injustice universe.
Yeah, no, I know that, but they also have like, oh god, I don't even know what it's like. But in the movies, they always hinted at like Lois Lane dying, and because of the visions that Batman had.
Nightmares. Yeah, the nightmares that Batman has about. Yeah, I mean, I think that they were. I think that they were like somewhat going in that direction, but who knows? I mean, it wasn't.
Which I liked. I don't know. Zack Snyder. He messed everything up. I don't know. It was weird. My other hot take is that I honestly really like Batfleck.
You know what? I actually really did like him too. I thought that he didn't get a fair chance. I thought that he was a good. I think he was one of the first actors, in my opinion, to finally bridge the gap, because in the comic books, Batman is the forward-facing persona. He is always that's just who he is. He is Batman. Bruce Wayne is the costume he has to put on, and I feel like in Ben Affleck's portrayal of it, granted it was different. Like Batman was drinking and Batman XYZ. Whatever else is not typically Batman. I felt like he was always Batman though. Even when he didn't have the mask on, he was always on a mission. He was trying to do something, and like him going to that party and pretending to be like drunk and whatever. I was like, this acting is bad, and it's good bad. It's bad, and it's supposed to be because he's not Bruce Wayne. You know? Yeah. So I did like him as well.
I liked him because, yeah. He just reminded me of the Batman show. There's a bunch of them, but I don't even know which one it is. I could not tell you. But I just liked how, I think it was the writing, because the writing was pretty stiff.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, like he's too stiff. He's just...
Well, again, that all comes from Zack Snyder. I don't think Zack Snyder, in my opinion, is good at capturing a moment and not capturing a story. because think about it, all Zack Snyder's movies. In 300, what do you remember? The slow kick to the chest. You remember the rain of arrows. Like, you remember those things. In Watchmen, you remember the slow kick where the guy's like going out the glass and everything's slow-mo. You remember Dr. Manhattan blowing up and like
He's
slow-mo.
good at slow-mo.
So he's good at slow-mo. He's good at capturing moments, but I don't think he's good at telling a whole cohesive story.
You should do
and
a
it's
whole
like,
movie in slow-mo.
fuck, no, he did. It's called the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. It's like I forget what it was. I read it on Reddit somewhere. Somebody timed it.
3.5
and
hours.
It's like an hour of like slow mo. It's like if you took that.
Actually?
Yeah, like somebody took. It's a 4-hour movie.
Well, the coolest part is probably the slow-mo of like the final fight with Superman.
Yeah.
There's like a slow-mo.
Well, again, slow mo.
Yeah.
He's good at slow mo.
Zack Snyder, My Life, slow-mo.
Yeah, Zack Snyder, My Life, a 12-hour movie that's only 30 minutes worth of footage.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, with that being said, we're gonna put a pause in this. If you'd like to stick around, you are welcome to. But we're gonna take a quick break as I do have another guest who will be showing up. So if you stick around, awesome, and if not, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Bryce Colton again for coming on the show. Always being an entertaining guest to talk with. I had fucking fun. This was good.
Was fun.
Yeah,
a little scary but fun.
Yeah,
for sure.
now that we're getting the cobwebs off, we've brushed the cobwebs off, and the conversation kind of happens.
Definitely need to research some more stuff so you don't have to watch porn again while
let's not look up porn anymore while we are podcasting.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, thanks for joining, and again, you're welcome anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do a quick pause so this stream will end. If you like this, please check out some of the other stuff as well on YouTube. We've got Z-Dork Nerd Gaming, Hourglass Radio, and past episodes of The Rick Simon Show. Yeah, so for those of you who are watching, stick around. We're going to be going live again with West Side coming up next.
West Side.
Bryce, thank you again.
Thank you. So how long?